Hi beauties. A lot of you have been asking me about how to eat if you work a night shift. And I totally sympathize with this. I have a good friend who is a nurse and she works at night. So she goes through, I think she starts at like 9 at night and she works all night long. And so there's been a lot of questions. I've been reading some comments about some of you asking what's the best way to eat. And I understand that when you're working at night, your circadian rhythms may feel off and you don't want to just have a cold salad. So I think some of the best foods to eat if you have to be up really late or you do work during a night shift, hot soup is going to be one of your best friends. It digests really well. It's especially this time of year, it's going to feel really comforting and grounding. It's full of fiber and it's settling. It's got all that hot liquid. It's got a lot of minerals. It's just an amazing food to have at night. So depending where you work, if you want to bring some hot soup, if you have access to a kitchen that can heat it up, or if you have access to going out during your break or there's a cafeteria open at night and you get some nice healthy hot soup, I think that's an amazing thing to have at night. You could also have on the side some gluten-free bread or some brown rice crackers, something a little, or just brown rice. I actually eat soup a lot with brown rice. It's one of my favorite things to do. It's something I always did as a kid, was to put rice in my soup. So that's something you can do as well, which would feel really grounding. Some great soups to have at night, especially if this is your dinner, are something like a kale lentil soup, a carrot lentil. We have different soup recipes here on the blog. You can check out the mushroom soup would be great. I'm trying to think of all the different ones. The delish squash bisque. It's a tongue twister. That's also a great one to make. You can also make them in batches so you have enough soup for a few nights as well. Some other great foods, I think, rather than just eat, you have to be a little bit more prepared to, at night, sometimes the best foods aren't always available. So rather than resort to like a sandwich on whole wheat bread, which we know is often mixed with, caramel food dye could be largely white bread and processed cold cuts. You could just try bringing your own gluten-free or making your own at work, assembling your own gluten-free wraps, which is something I do a lot when I'm in a rush, and I just put avocado, mustard, probiotic and enzyme salad or raw kraut and microgreens. So you could even bring the components to work and toast up the wrap and make that meal really quickly. Again, we talked about the soup. Sometimes if you want to have variety on the go, I love brown rice, avocado, and veggie rolls. That's something you could also bring with you. We have recipes for something called khichdi, which is a mix of lentils and brown rice. Again, if you have that ability to heat things up at work, you could make a big amount of it and bring some with you to work in the evening. So try going for hot, fiber-filled foods instead of just pasta and sandwiches, things which may feel grounded but aren't the best for your digestion. They're filled with gluten. They can make you bloated. They can make you low in energy. So being a little bit more prepared, making sure you go grocery shopping and you have these really good foods that you can bring to work with you. You can buy a bunch of wraps and keep them in your freezer, and you could even keep them, depending on your work situation, at work too, so you have them on hand for when you get hungry. I also think nice vegan lattes are nice to have during the night shifts, and they feel comforting. So you can make our Happy Cow hot chocolate, which I love so much and make all the time, or a vegan vanilla latte. You're basically just going to heat up some coconut milk and some almond milk, and you can just add a sweetener like coconut nectar. You could add cinnamon or hot chocolate. You just make it your own flavor, and it feels so grounding and so nice. So check out some of these easy ideas. Also, a lot of the for instance, the corn, quinoa, and avocado salad, these really easy beauty detox recipes that you can make in bulk, and you can bring some to work, and you could have them at room temperature. They don't even necessarily need to be heated up, and that's great depending on your kitchen situation. And that'll keep you satisfied, so you're not always reaching for the the sandwiches and the pasta and some of the unhealthy options around, and the cookies and things like that. Oh, one more thing is truffles. I think it's nice to have you make batches of the pumpkin spice ones now, which are my favorite flavor, or the cacao or the blonde ones, and they're dense in the way that they have that grounding almonds, great vitamin E and calcium and protein, and they can taste really grounding in the evening as well, especially if you have a little bit of a carby or sugar craving. So I hope that helps, beauty, and just keep communicating with me. I love hearing your comments and questions, and this little video came from listening to some of you asking me about that. And I also answer questions every single week. We answer at least 4 questions every week on the Beauty Detox, Beauty Inside Out podcast, the Q&A one, which is on Thursdays. So every single week I'm answering, sorry, I can only say pregnancy brain. why my words get messed up sometimes. But every Thursday we have the Q&A show on the podcast, and I answer questions which are submitted by you guys. So for more answers, please check those out. There's so many amazing and interesting questions coming out of the community, and chances are if you have a question, many other people have the same question. So keep your comments coming and your questions. I love to hear from you. I'll see you back here soon.